I think it's clear, while Mr. Trump has talked generally about issues related to energy, I think there's two key areas we should focus on. The first one is he's commented about the need to review the regulatory tsunami, if you will, that we've been dealing with. We have 145 pending regulations on the oil and gas industry right now that we're dealing with as this administration concludes its service. So a focus on there to make sure we're regulating the industry smartly, not overburdening it, not chilling the investment opportunities. But the second piece we've been heartened by is his focus on infrastructure. As you know, right now there's opportunities potentially for Keystone Pipeline, for the Dakota Access Pipeline. Recent studies show there's a potential $1.1 trillion in infrastructure investment. These are private sector dollars just from the energy opportunities. So this is a big deal, getting us back to job creation, economic opportunity for all. So we're heartened by this and look forward to working with him and the new Congress to see what we can do to achieve our potential.
Jack, do you think the big exporters around the world, particularly the Saudis, for example, do you think they should be worried about a Trump presidency?
Well, I'm not sure anybody should be worried about a Trump presidency, but I think you'll see the free market come into play perhaps more so than it has over the past 7 or 8 years. And what I mean by that is, I think you're going to see more focus on things like export, more focus on domestic opportunity. We believe that if given the opportunity to compete, we can compete well all over the world, as it's been demonstrated with the shale revolution. So I don't think anybody needs to worry so much as folks just need to focus on benefits to consumers.
If I were the Saudis, I would be worried, because that sounds like a lot more supply coming online down the road.
Well, it could be, but at the end of the day, our view is let the market decide what comes into play and where it comes from, because we believe ultimately as U.S. producers, we'll do very well under those circumstances. So our hope is get back to market forces, make sure regulation is smart, it's not excessive, it's not unnecessary, and duplicates what the states are already doing.
Jack, when we think about some of the campaign rhetoric from Mr. Trump, that everyone's now debating which parts of it get carried through into policy and which parts perhaps get left behind, specifically with his rhetoric towards the coal industry and getting back coal jobs and supporting that, is that somewhere that you think might just be left behind? There might be a commitment to domestic energy policy, but perhaps not so much towards coal?
Well, I think once again, if we allow the free market to work, what unfortunately has happened over the past 8 years is we've got government putting its finger on the scale in behalf of preferred forms of energy. Our view is let us all compete. We shouldn't discriminate against the coal industry any more than we should discriminate against oil and gas, solar, wind, energy efficiency. We need a true all of the above. So I think the market will ultimately dictate what portion of the marketplace is filled by what form of energy, but we need to get back to a more free market, if you will, to allow those energy sources to compete. So coal is just one example of that, where the current administration's put their finger on the scale, in my view, that's harmed the coal industry. They should be allowed to compete like everybody else and to let the market decide what benefits the consumer most.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.